Good to go.
Adding it, I don't want to add it though.
What's the right word?
Okay, so we're live.
You're live.
What's the
Okay,
right word?
people,
Live or right?
let's bring the meeting to order and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, we'll begin with roll call. Bowman here. Laporte.
Here.
Patterson.
Here.
Fraser.
Here.
Adi.
Here.
Rush.
Here.
Honey.
Here.
Okay. Approve agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve. Never
Can
mind.
I add?
I didn't finish, yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go.
We're gonna add something to the
So
report.
I was gonna let Rob,
Yeah, I'm just asking if we can amend the agenda to include a closed session that I intended to get on this evening. Randy Pentak is with us to help with discussing this matter. So it'd be a motion to go into closed session to discuss attorney-client relation or privileged discussions regarding a June 28, 2025 letter, which is exempt under the Open Meetings Act.
Would that be
Okay.
after item C?
I say it's after item, yes, so make it item D if you would.
make it item D.
Don, I'll get you the exact language.
Okay, and then I'd like to make a motion to add consideration to buy the equipment that it's, we have information on in front of us here for the DPW department. That would be item,
You wanna make that D, and I'll just use closed session as the last one, so,
Okay.
you know.
all right.
Are we going to be adding this one with the L4029 on too?
Yeah. Yeah, we're just waiting for everyone to
Done?
get their ads in.
Okay, so,
I'd like to add item E to the agenda. This document just came in late to us. It is time sensitive. It's the L4029 document sets the new 2025 tax levy. And that has, I think it's got to be signed and turned in by the 30th of this month. They just didn't give us much time.
And we're doing that item E.
And that is
Yep.
going to be item E, requested to be that.
okay,
And I'll support that. I heard a motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. How do you refer to that, John?
It's consider the approval of the L4029 form to set the
So
2025
what is closed session? Is closed session?
tax levy.
What's
L
that?
49 form?
Whatever
Yes.
that.
Okay. And we had a motion to approve D.
The motion was made by whom for the agenda?
He made the motion.
I made the motion.
And I seconded it.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay,
Opposed.
get back to presentation. Tiffany, what is it, Newberg of Hennessy Engineering Projects update?
So, good evening, board. I'm Tiffany Newbig with Hennessy Engineers, so give you a project update for Sumpter Township this evening.
Chair,
So,
if we can pause 1 second, can we kill the lights right here so we can see the screen better?
That'd be cool. Lot better.
Much better.
so the three projects I'm gonna go over that we're currently working on are the Willow Road water main from Sumpter Road to east of Martinsville, the Martinsville pump station, and the water asset management plan. So to give you an overview on where we're at with the Willow Road water main, the design is about 90% complete, so we're currently doing final QA/QC on that. I expect to have that completed on or about October 8th. along with, we're currently working on the easement agreement, so that'll be coming over to, Ron and Ken and the attorney to look over for the easement agreement, so we can start getting the township can start having those discussions with residents. There's 6 lots that'll have easement agreements needed. And then after that, following that, we'll move into the permitting submittals, so we'll have to submit for Wayne County drain crossing, Eagle Water, the Washington County, or Wayne County road, right-of-way permit, and the Wayne County soil erosion permit. And then I'm looking to go out to bid on our approximately November 1st of 2025 with, start preparing bid documents on our November 1st, 2025 with the invitation to bid going out on November 11th, 2025. Bid opening on December 3rd, and bid award, we're looking to bring that in front of the board on December 16th meeting with a construction start date on or about February 2nd. So obviously this timeline is tentative, subject to change based on easement agreements and permitting. So those are things that are obviously out of our control on how long those can take.
Chair,
As far-
before you go on, the easement agreements, what are those are gonna consist of?
So currently, west of Martinsville Road, there's a 27-foot wide easement to keep that, because I think there is like some type of, if there's any type of drain or whatever, to keep that alignment straight. So it's gonna be a 27-foot wide easement.
And is there no easement there now, or?
No, there currently isn't.
Okay, and do we know how that got by? I mean, when they put the water main in, I would think they would have had to have easement agreements with those properties to put the
So
water
the
main in.
existing water main is inside the right-of-way, we're pushing it back outside of the right-of-way to
Okay,
keep
so-
a consistent alignment.
I got you, so you're making it larger is what it is.
The location we're shifting to the north.
Okay, okay,
yes.
so there is something in place now, it's just that you were shifting it a little bit for our purposes, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So the next project is Martinsville Pump Station Rehab and Meter Pit installation at the Holiday Mobile Home Park. So, bids were put out, there's a few discrepancies that we wanna, hone in on and correct and, I guess, provide a better scoping for the contractor, essentially is what we're trying to do. So we're putting together marking up some of the existing plans on the improvements that need to be done with that rehab, making sure bid documents are all in place, and then revising the bid documents for an addendum. So currently it went out to bid, addendum 1 was issued last week for the bid opening to be extended to October 9th. So we're hoping to get that addendum 2 out by September 30th to keep that bid opening on October 9th. If all goes well on that, looking to bring forward the bid award on October 21st with construction starting on or about middle of November. And then the third project is the water asset management plan. So we're currently 50% complete with the field collection of locating the hydrants and the gate valves. And then, once we have all of that information collected, the GIS line work will be imported or everything will be connected based on existing utility maps and doing the research with that. And then we'll move into the report and honing in on the 5 and 20-year CIP financials review, and then the final report. So, I know this is over, I think the date we gave was a December 2026 final completion. The reason it was over such a long period of time is because we were asked to break that cost up over 2 fiscal years. So to keep the cost at a minimal, or to minimize the cost. So that's all I have. Any questions?
I think you laid it out pretty good. Any questions?
I'm all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Can we get the lights back on?
Chief? Okay. Okay, we'll move on to public comment. Nicole, Van Ness.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just a couple updates for Parks and Rec. We talked about it before, we have two upcoming events for the community. We have the trunk or treat on October 25th, and we have the live concert, which is on October 24th. Those are both free events for the community. We are still looking for people to volunteer to set up their vehicles and pass out candy to the children. And I noticed that on the agenda tonight, there is item C, 14C, for considering the approval for the benches, trash cans, and handicap sidewalk. Parks and Rec is definitely in line with this. We would really appreciate the board considering that. Is the ancillaries to the new playscape that we have. Being able to have appropriate space to be able to dispose of trash will definitely help alleviate some issues as well, and having that access for handicapped children to be able to get in through the park. And benches, of course, for the parents to be able to sit and enjoy some time there at the park. I think would elongate the time that they are there. Much appreciation for the board's consideration for that. Thank you.
Nicole?
Thank you, Nicole. Okay, Kay Harris.
Hi.
Good evening.
The reason why I keep bringing up the firewall is I remember when the same company that bought Sammy's place, the junkyard, put in an application for a supermarket, which I felt bamboozled when a gas station appeared. They are not known for following the rules. So the reason why I keep asking for the firewall is, once it's approved, he's gonna do what he wanna do. He's gonna do everything that he's been doing. And so I will always be in jeopardy. I remember the gas station was supposed to be a market. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay. So we'll move on to minutes. A, approve the regular board meeting minutes of September 9th, 2025.
I'll make a motion, Chair, to approve all items A, B, and C.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Okay, we'll move on to approving warrants. $263,919.86.
So moved. With a roll call vote?
Support?
Roll call vote. Mr. Addy?
Yes.
Frazier?
Yes.
Patterson?
Yes.
Bowman, yes. Laporte?
Yes.
Rush?
Yes.
Honey?
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, moving on. Parks and Recreation Report. Trustee Liaison Rush.
Good evening, everybody. What a heck of a year for Parks and Rec. All the events that we put on turned out much better than we anticipated. Our volunteers are doing an excellent job with backup from our DPW. I encourage everybody to try to get out to the concert and trunk or treat. Those two events I think, is just gonna culminate the whole year for Parks and Rec. It's been just wonderful. And got a couple surprises for the October Jam, the concert. Wait till you see the decorations. I got confirmation from Moe's Produce. They're fixing up 15 cornstalk bundles for us. They're gonna call me when they're ready. Ron Tabor from DPW will pick them up, and we've also got the hail bays too. Who donated the hail bays?
Strawberry.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Yeah,
It was Frazier that, trustee Frazier.
you got, okay. That was taken care of by Mr. Frazier, thank you. With that, Chair, that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Tim.
Making a motion to approve the Parks and Rec report.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll support.
Yes.
I'll support the
Oh,
motion.
I thought it was all in favor.
We forgot the support.
Oh.
We're moving too fast.
Keep
Don
track of
can't
this
keep
stuff.
up, we gotta slow down.
All in
He's
favor?
doing
Aye.
double duty.
Ayes, motion carries. Financial report, Jay Campbell. Okey-dokey.
Good evening, board. Good evening,
Good evening.
community. Good evening, township representatives. I was hoping to be able to report a new payment from our royalties, but as of this evening, we still haven't received that payment. Hopefully, it'll be in any day now, and I'll be able to report that next month. And the rest of my report is just basically some updates on things that were discussed previously, some clarification on how MERS money is invested and rate of return and things like that. An update on our UKG, which is still not fully implemented without parallel testing. We still are having some configuration issues on UKG's side that they're working on. We meet with them virtually at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, and still trying to work through that. We have some really unusual pay methods through the police department that are unique to our police department, and they're just trying to figure out how to configure those so that they can accrue and pay automatically without intervention. Our annual disclosure is due to PFM, our financial advisor. The data is due to them anytime now because they have to submit our annual disclosure by September 30th. And so I have provided them all of the data that they need to put that report together, with the exception of the revised L4029 that you'll see tonight. I'll send that to them first thing in the morning, and we'll be all set with that. Our electronic purchase order implementation, we are still having trouble. Melissa's trying to figure out what's wrong with the workflow notifications in BSNA. They're still not happening, even though it appears to be set up correctly, and she's working with BSNA still to figure out how they can remedy that for us so we can move on with our purchase order implementation project. The water and sewer fund separation, I've done a lot of work on that already, but I haven't worked on it a lot in the past 2 weeks because of other projects taking precedence. And our EFT, or electronic payments to vendors, we are testing that with the check run that's dated today with today's warrants. We have a handful of vendors that we've set up to test that process, and hopefully that'll go smooth, and we'll be able to get as many vendors as possible on electronic funds payment. Any questions?
Yes. Julie, can you touch briefly on the L4029 document so everybody
Yes.
understands? We talk about it as a number, and we talk about it as a tax levy,
Yeah.
but so the residents have an idea of what we're approving tonight and why.
So every year by law, every taxing authority is required to submit an L4029 to their highest taxing authority, ours being Wayne County. We have schools and libraries and things within our township that have to report theirs to us, but we have to report ours to Wayne County every year. And what that is, it's basically asking the county to levy the taxes that we're requesting on that form per our voted millages in our operating millage. The Headley rollback piece is, you can see on that first line for our operating millage, we're legally allowed to collect 1%, or I'm sorry, 1 mil, but because of Headley rollback, which I'll explain next, we have to reduce that a little bit each year that Headley rollback is in effect. And what the Headley rollback is when your property values rise faster than inflation it creates a deficit, and we would be overtaxing our citizens if we didn't roll back our levy by just those minute fractions of a millage. Does that
No
help?
one understood it, but that's okay.
Totally understood. Only because we
Other
had
than Bart,
discussions.
yeah.
Because we don't want to collect more taxes than what we're obligated to.
Right.
So who are we reporting L 49 to?
Wayne County.
Wayne County.
Wayne County taxing
Is
it.
there a form?
Yes.
The,
So where do I
ma'am,
get that form to report?
ma'am, the residents
Oh,
are not doing
no,
that.
this is
We
the
are doing that.
township.
I thought she said,
The
everybody.
township has to
We as the
report.
township is doing that.
Yeah.
My apologies.
No,
No, you
no
are
concern.
good.
Okay, well, I don't know.
No, it's a formality we have to do
You gotta
every
get this
year.
in by tomorrow. That's your deadline.
Noon.
Hate to just spring it on you. No, just kidding.
Okay.
I just didn't want the residents to think that we were approving things without explaining them and have a full understanding and transparency of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, oh, they passed some form and somehow it pertained to our taxes and I think they're taking more of our money. No, that's not it. We don't want to take more of your money. We
Yeah.
only want to take what we're by law required to.
Okay, got it,
Yes.
okay.
Anything else?
Okay.
Chair, yep, I got a question.
Yeah.
Julie, for the salaried employees in UKG, does it make sense for us to have them tracked in UKG so we're all in one system? So that, time off and everything is requested through UKG? I know like we use Workday where I'm at, so salary employees, they get 40 hours, it's automatic unless, a vacation day or personal day has been approved, and we would submit that through the Workday, which I'm assuming you'd submit through UKG, and the approving authority would come back and say, yep, you're approved for that day, and it would automatically go into the payroll, and then you don't have to enter anything, you don't have to manually go in and, change it from a salary day to a vacation day. It happens automatically with the approval of whoever the manager for that person is, which for most contract employees would be our township manager. So, employees would submit to him, hey, I want to have off next Friday. He'd approve it, it automatically goes in the system, deducts that day as a vacation day, whatever the employee asked for, and nothing else has to happen in the payroll process. Now, I probably summarized that pretty,
Does it
simply,
make
but-
sense? Yes. Is it more expensive? Yes. And is it something that we contracted last year with UKG to do? No.
And I'm surprised, because I
There's-
thought we were doing that. That's why I was asking. I thought that was part of
We don't
the
have
process.
fire on there,
Yeah,
and we
right.
don't have salary on there. Police is by far our largest group of employees. We've got, a handful of AFSCME employees, but it's mostly police, and that's the part that's being
Yeah.
tricky right now.
Yeah, I understood fire because of their, how they calculate their hours being, the volunteers and how they do that. But I thought for sure that the salary people, we had originally talked about them being on there. Maybe it's something we need to talk, in some of the UKG meetings about, potentially adding that if it's not already set up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because like you said, I think it makes sense.
And that contract was signed prior to me getting here, and
We'll see if we get them in it.
I just, so salary would be
There's only like 6, I think, 4,
Ken
5 or 6.
Martin, Debbie Nogle, myself,
Mhm.
and
Ron.
Ron,
Ron.
and Chief.
Yeah.
And Chief. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll process
to me,
the
it
payroll.
just makes sense that everything would be calculated in the same payroll, system.
Yeah, and the UKG is, I understand it's time and attendance, but it's primarily punching in, punching out, punching in, punching out, and capturing the nuances of a contract that cover those punches. And, we could set it up for attendance for salaried employees.
Yeah, I'm
We
sure
just
that
have to
I'm sure
pay
they
for
have a
the
salary
additional
portion,
slot.
yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, the payroll wouldn't transfer in. It would just be the attendance piece. Payroll is, there's nothing to transfer in to payroll, on the payroll side for a salaried employee because it's already set up in BSNA as a recurring salary. So it would only be the attendance piece.
Yeah.
So it's a cost benefit. We could take a look at cost benefit, but we have a system in place now that I think has been
Okay,
working.
I mean, yeah, I won't take much more time. I originally thought that, the attendance was gonna be,
Yeah, and if it
calculated through
was,
UKG.
that, I think that somewhere got lost in the translation
Yeah.
over the year that we contracted with it and didn't implement it.
Perfect.
Chair, if I may, to just follow up, I don't think it's been a whole year. I think we just did the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we?
Yeah,
September.
it was
I thought
close.
that
You know,
was
and I
just-
apologize, I probably should ask that question afterwards, but, I just wanted, because it was on your report, I wanted to mention it, and we could probably, through the UKG meetings, if you could, maybe bring that up and see what it would take, and, let the board know if it, what additional cost it would be.
Yeah.
Because to me, it seems like it's easy. I mean, where I'm at, you submit your time off request through the UKG, it goes to your manager, they approve it, and it's done, it's tracked, nothing else has to happen. You don't have to write up a piece of paper, you don't have to shuffle it to this person or that person, or
Right.
email it, it's right in your system, so.
Right, yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it.
To continue on, what I was trying to say is that I thought the majority of what the board was concerned about was wanting to be able to track. We've had discussions about benefits bank times, how they're allocated, but seemed like a lot of it was for our contract employees and some for ASME employees too as well. So that was the main reason is just to track all that and keeping track of it. So I was always of the assumption that we're doing that. I wasn't aware of any in the meetings I've been in that it's going to cost extra. I thought we had originally.
Well, we have so many slots that we're
Right.
allowed, and if you go over, like, into the next
Yeah.
group of 10 or whatever, which would put us out into the next group of 10, would be an additional cost.
I had originally thought that we had figured in fire and then thought, no, we're not going to. But that was after the agreement too as well. So if it's just something you could just check into,
I
there
absolutely
were
will,
several that
yes.
have been concerned about it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Mark.
you're welcome.
I'll make a motion to approve the finance report.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Water and sewer report, Tabor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bowman, board members, citizens of Sumpter Township. I'm going to go over the water report real quick for September. The revenue and cash flow consists of, we did cycle 3, 4, 6, 7, and 9 we billed for a total of $210,317.90 in September. The monies collected for September totaled $349,250.52, which included water, sewer taps, capital benefit fees, and water severs and hydrant rentals. Our aged accounts receivable, the August account delinquent total was $74,744.92. Our September delinquent total was $79,319.68. The accounts receivable increased in September by $4,574.76. Any questions on any of that? I know you guys got that in front of you. I'm going to briefly go over what's going on in the DPW here. The DPW, the fairground restrooms, they're coming along nicely, but we still got a lot of painting to be done. The ceiling's buttoned up, the outside has been painted, sealed. We're trying to do all the stalls and stuff like that. There's a lot of painting to be done, but we're going to be able to knock it out, get it up by the October 24th. We have a new employee, Jeremy Mastretta. He started on the 25th of last month. I'd like to take this time to thank the board and the taxpayers for this new addition to my team. He has already displayed a lot of construction skills and hard work ethics on the repairs at Township Hall and on the work on the fairground projects. We've also, this month we received a demo skidster with a brush hog head. I brought that in to just see what equipment I could bring into the township and maybe help us out in the parks and better the community. It was free. They brought it in and they brought it over to Sherwood Park, because when you come out the exit on Sherwood Park, you couldn't see. You had to pull halfway out in Sherwood Street to get out of there without getting killed. So we actually brought the unit in and we brush hogged that whole corner. And we only had like 6 hours, so we didn't have a lot of time, but we did a good job.
Looks good down there.
Yeah, and it's going to look better. There's a lot more work to be done. In the water, we finished the dead end hydrant flushing again, this is to maintain the quality in those areas. We started painting the fire hydrants, but we still have a lot of fire hydrants to go. We finished weed whipping and around all the hydrants in the township. That's all completed. Sewer work. We're still in the process of getting bids from Martinsville. You heard Tiffany explain all that. We had a company come out and camera the areas on Willis Road on the gravity sewers to ensure that all our repairs that we took care of last month, there's no other issues exist. I'm looking into ordering 20 grinder pumps. If I buy 20 or more, I get a $150 break on them, which will save the city $3,000. And the next break would be at 70 pumps. Our pumps, we recondition them, we pull them out, set them aside, Russ picks them up and he rebuilds them. But we're getting to a point where they're losing their efficiency, they're breaking down more often. We did one, and like 5 days later, we had to pull it out again. So we talked to Russ, he's gonna look at that and see if it was something he did. But we need to bring some newer pumps into the system. And so we're gonna order 20 of them, and it's gonna be a cost of $58,000. But we are saving $150 a pump by ordering 20. Like I said, the next break's at 70 pumps, so I figured just get 20 for now, and we'll look again a little later and see how we're doing. And that's about it for me. If you got any questions?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, sir.
You have a temporary part-time employee.
Yes, sir.
His time expires October 7th, I believe.
Yes, sir. I believe he was brought in to kind of sub for with the other guy that was missing, our other employee that was injured. And we brought him in. We got Jeremy now, so he's full-time. But to be honest with you, we could definitely use a part-timer if we could continue his employment. I would appreciate it. We will definitely find work for him. There's plenty of work to do, especially with all this stuff going on recently.
It's my understanding he is a college student and
Yes, sir.
is doing a lot of his classes locally.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any kind of idea how many hours you could utilize him, or can you put something together to give to Ken?
Yes, he's currently working three days a week. He's working Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then he's schooling the days before that. He's quite an asset. He's been around enough to know how to use the equipment safely and efficiently. I'd like to hold him on, but he planned on keeping working if he could. He wants to keep working, but I mean that's really up to the board and up to Ken.
If there's things that we can get buttoned up, my opinion is that it'd be nice to have him on to get things buttoned up before winter gets here. It's obvious he's not gonna stay with Sumpter Township
Yes, sir.
much longer. He's gonna end up being, from what I understand, a nuclear engineer.
Yes, sir. He's
So-
a smart
He's
smart young
Very
man.
smart young man, so,
Absolutely.
Adams, huh?
yeah, so he's definitely,
Wow.
goal-oriented.
Yes,
So
sir.
he comes
Yeah.
from a really good family also.
He's a good boy. I put him on the building the other day, and he's like, "So what do you start painting?" He mopped that paint on. He did a good job and didn't make a mess. I was proud of him.
So let's see if we can get a schedule together and present it to the board sometime soon. And
Yes, sir.
and we can see if the board feels that we want to keep him working for a little bit longer.
I know he's willing. He's as a young kid, he's got a lot of bills that his parents make him pay for a lot. He goes, "Mr. Tabor, I need to work." I said, "Well, we'll see what we can do."
Chair.
Go ahead, Mike.
And Ron, thanks for, getting that area cut down on the easement.
Yes, sir.
And I want to remind the residents that, if you live on these back roads and there are any of these intersections that haven't been cut, you need to register your complaint with the county. You can do that through the supervisor's office. I know Mr. Rush has talked to our Mr. Wilson several times. I know John Honey has, and Bart, almost all of us. I've talked to him in the spring about getting the widowmakers cut down, all these branches hanging over the roads. It's frustrating that when we do call, they say, make your complaint, and it's frustrating because this is something that happens every year. Why do we have to continue to make complaints about the county not performing their job? And when I talked to Mr. Wilson, I told him, I said, when they're grading the roads, or they come and cut the ditches, at some point, they see all these trees and these dead trees hanging over, Martinsville and Arcona
Cattails.
and Willis
Taking
and all
up the
these
whole
things
road.
that, could potentially fall in a windstorm. And, they see it themselves. Why do we have to call and make a complaint and register it. You know, this has been going on since I've been on the board, since 2014. It's been going on for 40 years before that, if you ask Mary Bann. God bless her, she's not here tonight. But, you know, it's an issue that has been constant with the county, and it just is frustrating that we gotta, the answer is call and make a complaint, register a complaint. And, you know, the thought is the more people that complain, they'll do something about it. Well, common sense tells you the grass in those ditches is gonna grow, the trees are gonna overgrow the road. There shouldn't have to be a phone call. It should be cut before we have to make the phone call, right? I mean, that's good service is when you're getting it done before the resident has to make a phone call to tell you didn't do your job, right?
Exactly. We know the parks have to be cut and stuff like that. We set up a schedule and we get it done.
Yeah, you get
I'm sure they
it,
do
you
the
get it
same.
done, right, before there's a complaint, you know?
Yes.
So anyways, I just wanted to say, I know that, everybody in the audience, make the complaints. We, you know, I don't think we should have to, but make the complaints. You know, they're asking us to, but it should be done before we have to make a complaint, but it just never seems like it is. Thank you, Chair.
Can I say
Thank you.
Can I say one more thing to let you guys inform you? As far as the driving around, I do a lot of driving around in this township looking for things to do, and that's just the way I'm built. And I imagine I can do a lot more complaining if that's what we need to do. They'll get to know me by first name basis here. I'm good at complaining.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on demoing a mini excavator also, and I'm going to bring it in Friday, and then we're going to bring it over to the fire hall. We're going to be pulling 3 slabs of sidewalk over there. Where I come from, we did concrete work. We did a lot of other tasks that we don't currently do here in Sumpter, and I would love to teach these young employees that we have. They're capable, they're well paid, and they do a good job. And I think if we teach them stuff like that, the cement. You know, the young man we brought over from Riverview, he knows how to do cement, so we're gonna pluck 3 sidewalk slabs, fix where the sinkhole is there. We have a storm drain that's leaking, so we're gonna cement that, and we'll expose it, cement it up, and then we're gonna pour new slabs before the election here. And then we also have 3 slabs out here in front of the township hall that are handicapped that they're starting to get popping up in the air. We're gonna pluck them out, we're gonna replace those. But that's all gonna be done with the mini excavator demo this week, next coming week. So the more they learn, the more efficient and the more help they'll do in the community. So we're excited. That's about all I got to say, unless you got any more questions. Anybody else?
I'll make a motion to accept the water and sewer report.
Support. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.
Thank you. Sorry about that. That was a long
No
one.
problem. Township manager report, Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Board. If you think Ron's report was long. All right, my report is in your packet. I want to highlight several items that are in there. The first item is the first item on the report, which is the MTA Michigan Townships Association retreats. I have been suggesting that people attend these for a couple of meetings now, and I will continue to suggest it. I find them to be very valuable, and if some of you are contemplating, I know a couple of you are going, and if a couple of others of you are contemplating going, I would suggest you do so, and if you want to talk about it, you can call me anytime during the week. There's still time to register. Moving down my report, there is an item on here which is somehow how these things are timed, it just doesn't work out that well. It's the website item, and that is now 14B on your agenda, and we can discuss that when we get to 14B. It is a recommendation to go with a web hosting company that we have not heretofore used, and we can get to that when we get to 14B. I'm happy to explain it, although there is a memo in your packet that I think is fairly thorough. Next item is logo committee. This might be the most exciting part of my report. The logo committee of Samantha Herman, Erica Campbell, Karen Woodington, and I have met with our consultant and come up with 4 potential logo options for the township, rather than the logo that's right in front of the audience here. It might be time to freshen that up a little bit. Now, we're not asking for any decisions today. This is just for your perusal. Think about it, chew on it, give me a call, talk to the employees that I mentioned that are on the committee if you'd like. There are a couple of different options that I think are fairly handsome, and I'd like to move forward with them eventually. Again, not today, but sometime in the future meeting. And this will be on the agenda coming up probably in October. Next item is the hiring policy drafts, which were a request last meeting to write up draft for hiring policies for several categories of employees. I have done that. They are in your packet. I have received a couple of comments for amendments to those drafts from one or two of you, and I will continue to receive those before they are actually presented for final approval. Next matter, and this might get convoluted. It is now item 14D on your agenda, all right? I admit to you guys, I screwed up. So, I prepared a meeting agenda item for the purchase of a mini excavator. It is right here. You all have it in front of you. It's 4 pages. I did everything but submit it to the deputy clerk for inclusion in your packet, and I apologize profusely for doing that. This is a purchase of $107,000 and some change. Nothing to be taken lightly. This was approved by the board as far to go out for quotes at the August 12th meeting. Ron has done that. Ron and Julie have worked on this. They have gotten these quotes from Sourcewell, which is an organization that sells items basically to public entities at a fairly sizable, in my opinion, fairly sizable discount. And the quotation is there. So that's for you to discuss. Again, this should have been in the packet, and I apologize for not getting it in the packet. I ought to own that one. And obviously, when we get to 14D, we can have a greater discussion about it. Let's see, I'm moving right along here. You are all going to receive from me, you, the board that is, an invitation to attend the Belleville Area Chamber of Commerce Annual State of the Community Breakfast, which is on Thursday, October 2nd. Attendance is $25 a person. I'm going to try to collect names for those of you who want to attend and pay it all at once. That invitation will be coming. This is where Nicole and I had participated in making a video on the state of the community. Can't wait to see it myself. It should be fun, but you'll get an invitation, and I'd like you all to respond to me fairly promptly so that we can take care of that and get the dollars in. I think that's all I have. Let me just make sure. Logos. I guess one final note before I step down, and that is that another purchase that would be part of your 14D discussion is for the skidster. You all had talked about it at the table, but there hasn't been a formal motion to go out for quotes. We are seeking direction. However, this is what Ron referenced earlier, that we have a demo, and there is and in my report, as well as on your table, is a bid from Sourcewell, or quote, I should say, from Sourcewell. That'll be for you to discuss for 14D. Lastly, when I am done, I would hope that you would take a few minutes to recognize and allow Stephanie Richards from the Wayne County Sheriff's Department to speak. She came just as we were handing the public comment sheet up to you. So when I sit down, if you wouldn't mind giving Ms. Richards an opportunity to address the board. But first, I will take questions.
Nope.
Motion to accept the TM's report?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Treasurer's report, Patterson?
Are we going to
Ms.
allow
Richards.
this lady to speak right now?
Pardon me?
Remember, he said after he gets done, the lady from the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, if she could speak.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. It's been a while.
Just want to come and give a quick update from the sheriff's office for you. The last time I was here, Trustee Oda, you asked me to reach out and talk about the, having more presence and driving through. So they do that. They are here sometimes on Tuesdays weekly or Thursdays. They kind of alternate because you guys range, where they do practice at. So they want to let you know that they heard your request, and any other requests that you may have, I'll stay afterwards. I can definitely go to work on it for you. But the sheriff sends his continued support of you and wants you to know that we're here for you in any partnership. It was good to hear that Recs and Parks talk about community events, because I like to go to the community events that when I hear about them, just so I can engage some. And so I'll try to definitely pop in on one of the two that I heard. Also, I get a lot of questions from the community as to what exactly does the sheriff's office do other than manage the prison that's in Michigan. So I did bring some resource guides for you guys that I will leave here. They're really nice, have different phone numbers for the residents, and they know exactly what it is that we can do, and you can call on us for different things. So that's all I want to say. So thank you for allowing me a couple of minutes to talk to you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Can I have a word with her?
Yeah.
So does the sheriff's office have a special car they bring out to functions to support the
We can.
the department?
Yep, we can.
Like
So
a bright
depending on-
pink one, or?
I will be driving that one if we have a bright pink one, so.
I know sometimes they do. I've seen
Yeah,
it.
we have the command truck that we can ask for, depending on what you have. We can get reserves out here with the cars. A lot of times when I just come, I drive my car unless you have a special request. We can do the mounted horses to come out to different events too.
Oh, that'd be
I just
great.
let me know, and I can arrange them to be at your events. I usually just need a couple of weeks to a month's time, and I can get them to your
So-
event, so.
That'd be great.
Well, it'd be nice if you could bring something to the trunk or treat.
Okay, I can put in, I'll stay and get the details, and I'll send in a request when I get into the office tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Okay, treasurer's report, Patterson?
Yes, Board, you have the treasurer's report in front of you there, so not much has changed. We did take a CD that was with PFM and we put it in Michigan class. It was marked for pension, so that's further discussion as far as how we're going to be funding with that. But something separately too that is that, I'm not sure, probably a lot of small businesses aren't gonna be watching this, but small businesses have the ability to fill out what's called a small business property tax exemption claim. And in short, what that is that if a small business has internal assets ranging from $0 to $80,000, it's a one-time, you fill this thing out and then you don't have to pay personal property tax. Personal property tax is something that can build up substantially. It's the bigger ones like DT and bigger companies, gas companies, have a lot of assets in there. If they make from 80 to 180,000, that's an annual exemption form that they have to fill out and file. Trying to be judicious in the way that I bring this up, but I don't want to just do this through the treasurer's office ourselves. But we have a small business owner that wasn't fully aware of what the personal property tax exemption was, nor did they know how to access it or get one filled out, let alone on that. Probably back to 2017 or 18. With COVID times, other stuff like that, it got behind. Long story short, treasurer's office is responsible for collecting that. And we have the legal right to go and put chains on the door and start selling personal property. I didn't want to do that, so I started working with this business owner and they faithfully have been making payments over the last 6 months, paid down $3,000. What I'd like the board to do is that we have the ability, although the vast majority of all it goes to Wayne County to distribute to schools and such, I would like to, with the approval of this report, for the board to allow me to, in this one instance, waive what Sumpter Township collects through penalties and fees, which is close to about $2,000 over the past 6 or 7 years now. And going forward, I've already got it scheduled to help them fill out this exemption form to where they don't have this going forward. So the board could find its way to approve my report and allow me to do that, I would appreciate it.
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Support. All in favor?
Aye. And that's with the addition of
Yeah,
his
with his
comments
report.
being that approves his comments.
Right.
Okay, good.
Thank you, board.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Thank you, Bart. Board response.
Chair, if I may. We have a birthday in the audience. And That is Mrs. Liz Bowman, one of our excellent Parks and Rec members. And I think she deserves a round of happy birthday. Can we?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Now that I'll be 55, am I considered a senior citizen?
You're 55?
Tim, it might be time to
Rob in the
retire.
cradle. You're just now finding this out.
Just agree with her.
I thought she was like 62 or something like that.
Easy cowboy.
Yeah.
Chair.
I was
Let's
30,
mute
she was
that.
17.
Chair?
Okay.
Yeah, Chair, I'm done.
Go ahead, John.
I'd like to piggyback off what you had said earlier about the parks. It's amazing what it is. If you haven't been over there to Sherwood Pond, you should go look, because there's been a lot done this year
Yes,
to
there has.
make it look like a park. And this, just the other day, like when the skidster was in there and taking some of that stuff down to where now you can actually see around even in the front. But what I wanted to bring up was Bart Patterson, Treasurer Patterson, and what he's done over there to spearhead what's going on, because there was a beaver damming up the ditch over there, and Treasurer Patterson went over there and actually dug it out, and then it rebuilt it, and he went in there again 2 more times, but he spearheaded, and they actually have came in and cleaned the ditches out, the north and the south of the pond now, and it's just unbelievable what, if you had been over there and saw what it was and see what it is now, it's amazing. And I want to thank Bart for, he's the one that spearheaded that. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you, Bart. Okay. I would like to, before we go into new business, have a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, if we could, please. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we'll move in to new business. A, consider approval to accept Planning Commission member Paul Armstrong, his resignation request to the commission effective immediately.
So moved with regrets.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. B, consider approval of 4-year contract with Revise as web host for township website at $3,025 per year.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Okay, moving on. C, consider approval to purchase 4 benches, 5 recycled plastic trash receptacles, and separately contract with Rodward Construction to install 138 feet of handicap sidewalk to provide safe access to the new playscape feature. Total cost not to exceed $18,330 to be paid from the capital projects.
So moved.
Support.
Chair discussion.
Okay.
Bart, in your letter on this agenda item, you said these expenses are reimbursable from MEDC grants.
Yep.
Have we already got these grants?
They are a reimbursable expense from MDC grants.
So there's
I'm not
no-
sure exactly where we're at in total on those, but it's a park expense that we can turn in later on it, yep.
Okay, so this is 100% being paid for by the township.
This will be more of a question for finance, but I was told that this is an MEDC grant, available reimbursement. That it's done annually, we have to turn in receipts, and it's a process, that we do this annually.
Chair, if we could ask the township manager, didn't we already get awarded a grant that you informed us about in the last meeting? We accepted the
several
grant. I think we
grants.
actually had to accept the grant at the board table.
Thank you. That was Wayne County's millage reimbursement. They collect so much, I don't know the dollars offhand, they collect so much in millage for parks improvements, and they refund that money back to the community. That's Wayne County. There is an MEDC grant, that is correct. And I believe it's a 50-50 match, so we just had to spend half the money. half of something, and we would get basically, they would match it. It could be basically park improvements in general, but as I recall, it's specifically Minoti and Graham. I believe that this would be covered, but I haven't filled out the paperwork for it yet, obviously.
Thank you.
I know the annual Wayne County grant's typically $10,000.
Yeah, that's, they call it a grant, I don't know if it's a refund or not, but we get an annual grant, and I thought that's what we accepted, at the last meeting was the annual grant from Wayne County, but I may be.
That was some meetings ago.
Yeah.
And it was about $14,000, I want to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's already been accounted for.
Right.
And, yeah, okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
so,
Got a motion to support?
do we have a motion in support?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a motion to support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries. Okay, moving on. D, consider approval of purchasing prescribed equipment for documents that we have in front of us here, for DPW. We have the cost for the, I did all the research, got 3 different quotes on, trailers, heavy duty enough to haul either piece of equipment when we need to haul them. That cost was like $24,000 for the trailer. So between the 2 pieces of machinery and the actual trailer, I would like to get a motion in support of not to exceed $250,000 for both pieces of equipment and the trailer to haul them on. And they're needed in the DPW.
So Chair, you're making the motion, correct? Support.
Discussion?
Chair, before we move that, I know we have some E350s or E250s, are they gonna be,
Yes,
heavy enough truck?
I haul the same equipment, Matt, with my 250. I mean, I have a 350, but normally, if I have a load of stuff in the truck itself and hauling the equipment, I'll use the 350. But the 250 is more than enough to haul.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure,
Yeah, we won't have to go out for shopping for a truck anytime soon.
Okay.
So I got a couple questions as well about this. I think it's a good idea to buy equipment and do our own work, or we could save money and don't have to cost as much to the resident. But I'd like to better understand the scope of the work that we're gonna be using them for. Like, are we gonna be doing our own water taps? Are we gonna be, you just said today that you're gonna demo a unit to fix some cement down at the fire hall. And, what are we gonna use these primarily for?
We have like 30 stop box, which is water shut-off valves that are bent over or broken, that we can dig up, excavate, and replace, so we can access that shut-off. Whether it's for turning off water, or if there's emergency in the home, we can get it off. We do fire hydrant repairs, replacement. Anything that the scope of work is not dangerous, where, we have some deep water mains in this township. So anything we work, we're gonna have to contract out that's beyond our scope, our if you got big enough equipment, you can do it, but Ryan or someone like that has the bigger equipment that can do it, right, from the first side. But we can do shell or main breaks if need be, if we try to hire a contractor and they're all busy, if it's shallow enough, within 10 feet, we can do it if it's not too wet.
Well, I guess that's what I'm looking for, is return on investment. If we spend $200,000+ on these, how long is it gonna take to recoup our money on it, in savings?
If I could help out a little bit, Don?
Sure.
Along with what he's mentioned about doing, this will help keep our parks in shape, okay? Well, we won't have to go through the whole thing, same thing every spring to help keep our parks in shape. Not only the track loader that we're talking about purchasing, that will outdo every truck we have over there with a plow on it. It's able to plow snow, remove snow. And if we have a big storm, which we do in some cases, it'll place the snow over the curb, not like a normal plow truck, you push it up
Yeah,
as far as you can go and stop. I mean, there's.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% as far as I know the uses of them, but I want to make sure that we're using them and they're not sitting
Yeah.
somewhere in DPW's lot and we're still contracting vendors to fix water mains.
No.
I want,
Well,
if we can
water
do,
mains
well,
is
no, if we could do the work, I want to do the work.
Right.
Otherwise, we shouldn't spend the money.
Just like he explained, if the water mains are too deep, we have.
Well, I get that. I mean, obviously, there's limits to the equipment
Yeah.
that we're looking at as well,
They
right?
can
do
only dig
stop
so deep,
boxes or
correct.
taps.
I don't know what a stop box is, and
Stop
I'm
box is
fairly
a
certain
shutoff
most
valve.
residents won't.
Out in front of your, all the yards out there, if they have water service, they have a stop box, which we can turn it off, turn it on if they have an emergency in the house and their valves inside the house are failing. They can call us, we can come out and turn it off at the road so they can do the repair.
So it's the water shut off in front of the
Exactly, the water
residents.
shut off.
Okay, that's a lot
I
easier
mean,
to
there's
say
sewer,
that.
there's
than-
also sewer.
That's much more understandable
Yeah,
than
there-
a stop box.
I apologize. There's sewer shut-offs also. The
Call me
township,
crazy.
It's an
I mean,
industry term, they're done.
I didn't know what it was from Adam, but.
Chair,
Right.
so the equipment you're demoing down there, have you these are the equipment pieces you're recommending that we buy, these exact pieces?
yes, sir.
Okay. What about training on these? I know that you're
Right.
certified, but,
Right.
you know, our guys have not done this. I mean, I'm concerned that we get proper training from a, you know, third-party professional for our guys to do this. Because if we get a guy on there and he has a problem and they come in for insurance and say, well, how was he trained? And well, we had a guy who's not certified to
I
train.
would be willing to donate my time.
Mm-hmm.
I've been operating equipment for the last 40 years. I can scratch your head with an excavator or
Well,
comb your hair.
That extra stuff would be one of, but I think, you know, for insurance purposes, you know, we need to be able to point back and say that here is a license he received from a training facility that, you know, trained him how to do it, you know, just because I know you're trained in, but are you a trainer, you know, a certified trainer? And that's
No,
what
I'm
I'm
not
worried
a
about, because these
certified
guys
trainer,
haven't
but
done this stuff before.
Does our insurance require that? We have a lawnmower, zero-turn lawnmower, just
Yeah.
as dangerous as that excavator is.
Maybe they should have got some
You know,
training, I don't
you
know.
know.
But I don't know if CAT offers it, you know.
Last summer, we had one of our DPW
Yeah.
workers drove over a fence or what it was and drove a piece of steel
remember.
through her leg.
Yep, I
You
remember.
won't have that problem with the
Well,
excavator.
I know that-
I know what you're
Yeah, when
saying.
we bought some CAT equipment where I work, they actually came in and trained, so I wanna make sure if we're buying this, that they're coming in and training our guys on this from CAT. I mean, that's what I'd like to
No,
see, cause you know.
Actually, I'd like to go a step farther. I mean, we're gonna be digging holes with this stuff. They need to understand shoring and not to
Exactly.
bury somebody alive. You know?
You have
I
a
mean,
DPW.
Yeah, I've been
director.
a assistant director and a supervisor at Riverview for 10 years. I've dug probably, I don't know, maybe 100 to 200 main, I don't know, I dug unlimited amount of main breaks. But when I was a supervisor over there, I put all my employees through OSHA training. I put them all through trench safety. You know, basically, if you go down the hole, the ladder's got to extend 2 feet behind the hole. Stuff like that. They tell you how the spoil when you're digging, excavation, spoil has to be so far from the hole.
Right.
Stuff like that. But the classes they're not really expensive to bring them here, or we can like buddy up with here in township and I can set it up, and their guys can be trained as well. You know, I mean, but we'll definitely put them through the trade. We're never going to put a person in a hole if it's unsafe or something that's
Right.
out of our capability. In Riverview, we did everything except for when it got down to like a main, like where Ryan was digging, where it's 20-something feet deep, and you need an excavator that's just
Yeah, that could reach 30.
amazing
Yeah.
size. You know,
And I think because this is new to us, I wanna make sure that we're providing
No,
the, you know,
I agree.
good third-party training on this.
And we
so
can
that
set
can
up,
fall
I'm
back.
sure Cat would accommodate us with that.
They will.
You know, we have a 2-year service plan with these machines. And I know a lot of representatives at Cat. I'm sure we can set up
Yeah.
something like that.
That'd be
you
great.
know.
I mean, I think it'd be beneficial, you know.
Yeah.
So-
I would like to, understand what our insurance policy, if we need to add something to that, and it would only be in certain cases. When you're
Right.
digging up a stop box or
Right.
something, you don't have to require somebody to have a box in the hole, and
Right.
if you're,
as long as you're proper sloping. Yeah, if you're proper sloping for every foot down, you'll far out slope the hole to keep this hole safe. When we rented the Mini X maybe 3 months ago, we repaired like 7 to 8 stop boxes. We repaired 3 leakers. We had leakers that were leaking for over a year in these people's yards on Willow Road. We went in there and we did 2 in one day. we're capable. They're usually the copper line, the feeds to the homes are 4.5 to 5 feet down. It's pretty simple to fix. These equipment that I've been demoing, there's also, on the quotes, there's attachments. I don't know if you've read the paper that I gave you, but there's attachments. There's going to be auger bits coming with some of that
Right.
equipment, and a thumb, so we can replace all the fencing at the parks that are damaged. We can, rebore the
There's
holes.
so many, you could
Right.
go on and on and on with the use of those machines.
We have a brush woof on the excavator for going down the side of the ditch if need be, or on the edge of the ponds. It's a brush woof. It's a big hydro head. It'll eat trees, weeds, everything. There's gonna be a hydro head. And then we actually, the one we demoed down there at the park, it was a brush hog style head. It did the job, but it wasn't, for what we need, we needed something a little beefier. So the one that I put on that bid is gonna, the next step up, which doubled the price of the unit, not the unit, but the attachment, but it's a more capable, won't beat on the machine as hard, more
Yeah.
capable attachment.
Done.
So I guess another question, I mean, it seems like every time longer we sat here, I have more and more questions.
That's okay.
Is this gonna be something that's purchased by the enterprise fund?
I would assume.
I don't know.
I think we got, it's on here, we'd have to
Yeah.
ask Julie to tell us what accounts those are. You got the accounts, but we don't know what.
Are we gonna
account numbers.
self-finance this, or?
We decided to split it 50-50 between the water fund and
Okay.
capital.
Sounds good. There you go.
That,
Cool.
used for both water, sewer, and other township park.
Okay.
Chair? Ron,
Yes,
are
sir.
we gonna have enough room in our pole barn to store these 2 vehicles? I'm very, we're making this
Absolutely.
kind of investment. I want those things
They will be kept
protected from the weather.
indoors and underneath your alarm system, I promise you that. These are,
Okay.
and the thing about this equipment, we bought it with cabs on it, which a lot of them, you can get them without the cabs. We put cabs on them, they will have air conditioning and they will have heat. So when it's raining outside, they can go out. When it's snowing outside and it's 10 degrees and they don't want to go out, I can put a guy or a gal in there, or Rachel in there, and she can go to the park and just trim the trails, do whatever. There's so much you can do with it. I have someone that can go out all the time, whether rain or snow, hot or cold.
Yeah.
And we're not at the mercy of the contractors. If I'm saying I need someone to dig up 5 stop boxes and they're like, well, I can't do it this week, I can do it. I can rectify a problem almost immediately. We have people on call 24/7. You get an accident at the corner, I know we're not out to do the county's work, but in an emergency situation, whether it's a tree across the road and someone gets injured, unfortunately, you can dispatch our guys and gals, and
They can
they can
remove
go
the
out
tree.
and clear that
Yeah.
problem.
So many things you can do with it. Bart?
If I may. So, I try to be consistent on things too, so this is something that, again, as we discussed last meeting, it's, in my opinion, it's not an emergency. Should not be something that's added onto the agenda. But being that it's a $250,000 purchase there, and it was just emailed to us as board members last night at 4:00, I believe it was, with an agenda item that we were sitting down 5-10 minutes before the board meeting. We have a lot of questions. I'd like to see, pictures, weight, trailer weight, what are we gonna do with the trailer?
Have
What's the
all
trailer
that
look like?
information.
We don't have any pictures, we don't have any information, there's discussions about the training, what are we gonna use it for? Just to be clear, I'm a contractor, I'm a tool guy, I love tools, I started talking about this a while ago.
Right.
Have I not?
Yes, sir.
3-4 months ago, talking about
Yes,
doing
sir.
that. So just to be clear, I know we got a motion to support, I'm not voting a no on it because I don't think we should get it. I don't like the process that we're going through, so
Okay.
back to you, Chair.
So we have a motion and support, so
Chair.
we'll begin with a roll call.
Wait,
Chair,
we're not done
one
with
more question.
discussion.
Being that, this is
Excuse me.
going to be used a lot for the water department and the sewer department to generate, save money, I really think that split should probably be 75-25. I would expect that this would be used mostly in the water and sewer department, digging up stop boxes.
Not
and things.
necessarily, Matt. This will help keep their parks.
Oh, will be. I'm just saying the splitting the money, 75% goes to the
Oh,
enterprise
okay.
fund,
It will.
25% goes from the general fund. Because
Okay.
I think that that percentage might be a little bit heavier on the, I'm hoping it's a little heavier on the DPW, or on the sewer and water side, so that, you know, we're saving money, doing those stop boxes and, you know, those little repairs that we haven't been able to do in the past.
Okay, okay.
Who was the motion? Who made the motion?
I made the
He
motion.
made the motion,
You
Fraser
supported
supported.
And if we could add that, you know, so that the budget is 75-25.
And
for-
who supported it? Frazier?
Okay, so we'll begin with the roll call vote. Addie,
Yes.
Fraser,
Yes.
Patterson,
No.
Bowman, yes. Laporte,
Yes.
Rush,
Yes.
Honey,
Yes.
motion carried. Okay, so we'll move on to F. Don, you have the correct verbiage for that?
I've gotta let the water sewer director know, if I see this equipment sitting for 6 months, I'm gonna hang a for sale sign on it.
You got it,
do
you
that
got
with your
it,
fire
that's,
truck,
it's your
too.
job to make sure I keep it moving, I'll keep it moving.
It was a joke.
Thank you.
So the language on E is to consider approval of the L 4029 form to set the 2025 tax levy.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. And I guess we'll move to adjournment.
No, no, we're in closed session.
Closed session.
Item F.
Well,
Oh,
announcements
yeah,
first.
closed session, right.
Item F, the
Annou-
motion would be to go into closed session to discuss privileged information contained within a confidential letter drafted by the attorney, the subject matter of which is exempt under the Open Meetings Act. I can get you that stated that way, Mr. Clerk.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
Do
Motion
we want
carried.
to do
We are in
announcements?
closed
We'll do it in
session.
here.
Do we want to do
We'll do it here.
announcements before?
That's up to him.
You want to do announcements now, and then we can do the closed session in here?
Any announcements? All right, let's go to closed session.
We'll do it right here.
Okay,
Oh, we'll go right here?
Mr. Bowman?
Okay.
We have to ask everybody to leave.
The mics are now back on, go ahead.
I will make a motion to come out of closed session and go back into regular board meeting.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.
Chair, I'll make a motion to have the attorneys move as directed in closed session.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.
Did you get that done?
Motion by Ide, support by Patterson to direct the attorney to move as directed.
You might wanna watch the video again.
Yeah, Melissa
Well, that part
can
was
get you a
that.
copy.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.